Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while because I've been so busy and so preoccupied with the 12 days of Christmas, which if you missed, you can click on this link and it will take you directly to a playlist containing all of those videos which are, which feature really quick and easy protective styles for you to inspire you. I've been busy doing that and I haven't had time to actually film a proper video for YouTube, but yeah, I'm back now. So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, then welcome. My name is Tomowa Adebanjo, and on my channel I talk about natural hair, books, faith and lifestyle. If you're a returning subscriber, then what it do? Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and click the subscribe button. Today's video is going to be pretty much a recap a recap of all the books that I read in 2021. You guys know I'm a book head, right? So I've somehow found the time to read all of these books, so I'm here to share them with you and my thoughts on them and sort of rate them, just a video to goof off and rave about books. So if this is something you'd like to see, then please keep watching and subscribe. In no particular order, one of the books is not here, like I mentioned. It's called Ties That Tether by Jane Igaro. It's pretty much a love story. I did a review on that. I'll link the review video up here. So because I'm a romantic head, I love love, I would rate it 7 out of 10. I know a lot of people that were a little mad at the book, but honestly I wasn't mad. I like romance. I like cheesy, corny romance, inject it in my veins. So yeah, I would give that a 7 out of 10. If you're a romantic like me, you're gonna love it as well. But if you're more of a logical, realist, yeah, you should probably avoid it. Then the second book, it's Tomorrow Died Yesterday by Chimeka Garrix. I don't know where it is and I'm so upset. For that, I would rate it a 9 out of 10. Yes, it was that good. I love Chimeka Garrix. I'm sure this is no news to people that know me by now. I love him and I love his writing, and that book was amazing. It was about the Niger Delta and oil exploration and the indigents of the actual towns, the kind of effect it had on them. It was really emotional for me. Okay, so I'll give it a 9 out of 10. So now let's go to the books that are actually physically here with me. First up, I have The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. Right, this book, if you've been on Instagram, you've probably seen a clip of this book with this woman where she's like toasting the guy and the guy goes, "Why are you smiling at me like that?" And she's like, "Hey, boy, when you smile like that." That was what made me get this book. Was that and the fact that I met somebody, Ibeji Music. He's actually a rock star. I did not know that, but he told me to get the book. He told me the book was really superb, so I went ahead and I got it, and I will rate this a 9 out of 10. Even though I cried a lot, guys, it seemed like Miss Cora was never going to get her happy ending, and I love happy and I love happy endings, but yeah, we can't always get what we want, right? So she didn't get her happy ending. But it was a fantastic read. It's about slave trade and all of that. So yeah, reminds me of 12 Years a Slave. 9 out of 10 for this guy. Next we have Buried Beneath the Baobab Tree. I think I did a review. Did I? No idea. It was 100 Wells of Salaga I did a review for. Speaking of 100 Wells of Salaga, I'm not seeing it here. Anyway, let's proceed. Hey, how many books am I missing? Oh, I remember where my books are now. Anyway, Buried Beneath the Baobab Tree is set in a town that got attacked by Boko Haram. It's pretty much and it came with its own bookmark as well. So it's pretty much imagine what life would have been like for Chibok girls. That's what this book tries to explore. How they kidnapped the girls and forced them to marry Boko Haram soldiers, what they had to go through, how some of them were brainwashed and didn't even know where they're coming from anymore. Pretty much that's what this is about. So be ready to cry a million tears. I would give this an 8 out of 10. Yeah. Next up, we have The Mechanics of Yaagwa by Michael Afenfia, right? This book is chaotic. Just thinking about it alone is chaotic. Like, if chaos was somebody's name, it would be this Ibinimi guy. The star of the novel is called Ibinimi, and he's a mechanic in Yaagwa, and then he gets mixed up with, you know, bad guys, and a lot just happened. A lot. There's a pastor that is on his property. It's a lot. Actually, a fake pastor, but it's a lot, right? I would give this book a 7 out of 10. Yeah. Then we have Boom Boom by Jude Idada. This is actually, it's pretty much a children's book, but I love it because I'm a child. I'm sure we've all agreed by now, but yeah, I really love this book. I would recommend it for teenagers and youngsters. You know, it really breaks down, and adults actually who don't understand the concept of sickle cell. It breaks down the concept of sickle cell into a child-friendly manner. The star of the show is a boy, an 8-year-old boy called Osaik, and he can actually hear his dog talk. And his mom and sister suffered from sickle cell. His mom died, and you know, he's trying to find a cure for his sister. So this book is really good. I would highly recommend it for children and young adults, maybe. Yeah, I would rate this book 8 out of 10. Next, we have Love is Beautiful When in Bloom by Lara Karim. I got this book because I actually know Lara. She's on my Instagram. She's my Instagram friend. And yeah, it's a compilation of short stories. And it's a very good read. It's a very good read. I can't remember which story was my favorite, but I know I really liked one. I would rate this a 7 out of 10. Next, we have Dear Alare by Erie Onogoroa. If you follow me on Instagram, you know how hard I found it to read this book because it is filled with so much sadness and pain, guys. This woman has suffered, not even about her career and stuff, but you know, being a woman, I think it's extra relatable when, you know, someone is suffering stuff that only women suffer. Her husband, you know, had low sperm count and she kept losing her babies. It was just really emotionally traumatizing for me. So I actually read this for, I think, for a couple of months. It took me a couple of months to finish it. I just finished it today and I'm so happy. I would rate this 7 out of 10. We have Good Vibes, Good Life by Vex King. Ooh, it's too bright, but yeah, I actually have not finished reading this book. I'm still here. I got this from Francis Stores. It's a fantastic read. That's why it's taking me so long to read it, because it's filled with so many life lessons, you know, that I feel like I have to take my time to digest them. So every time I pick up this book, I actually have my notepad and a pen, because it's like I'm listening to a sermon of sorts. I'd rate 8 out of 10, even though I'm not done. This one broke my heart. Daughters Who Walk This Path by Yejide Kilanko. This book, somebody on Twitter recommended it to me 3 years ago when I asked for book recommendations. So when I saw it during one of my visits to Raven Heights, I absolutely had to get it. Like, duh. Guys, this book, it will make you cry. It will make you cry. It will make you feel all the feels, especially if you're a woman. It's going to mess with you. But I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Because it was really good. Next up, we have A Broken People's Playlist by Chimeka Garrix. This is the Chimeka Garrix I was talking about, the author of the Tomorrow Died Yesterday. If you have asked me for a book recommendation, an African literature recommendation, and this is not the first book I recommended to you, then maybe I don't really like you. I've recommended this book to just about every single person. I love this book. It's a compilation of 12 short stories. It literally is a playlist. It's inspired by, each of the 12 stories was inspired by a song. And guys, from the first story, you know, when you're reading something, you just feel like something bad is going to happen. But then you read it, and they're like, oh, okay, the bad thing hasn't happened. The bad thing isn't happening. Okay, so let me settle in and, you know, give myself to this story, because I mean, nothing bad can happen again. I mean, and then at the last page, the author is like, oh, you thought you had escaped. Guys, this book crushed me. I mean, it literally says a broken people's playlist. You would think that I would expect it, but yeah, it will crush you in ways. I still dream of one of the stories here. I still dream of it because it was just, I give this book a 10 over 10. Yeah, definitely my best read of 2021. 10 out of 10. Next is Becoming Nigerian by L. Nathan John. I got this as a Christmas present from my friend Anita last year, but I think I read it this year. Yeah, I read it this year. Yes, you know L. Nathan John. If you know him, particularly if you're following him on Twitter, you know that he's very humorous, does a lot of satires and stuff. So that's what this book is pretty much about. It, you know, tells you that Lagos, Nigeria is a crazy place, and just follow everything in this book and you're gonna be fine. I'll give this book an 8 out of 10 because it was just very humorous and very funny. You will crack. Oh Jesus, you'll crack a few ribs while reading this book. So 8 out of 10. We have When the Fog Lifts by Seme Onoibe Ero. I hope I got her name right, but this is it. When the Fog Lifts. I think this is another book. Yeah, once I see my bookmark in the middle of the page, I know that I'm not done. This is another book I haven't finished, because this one is more of a true life story about a woman who has been through so much. By now you guys can tell that I usually have trouble reading stuff where, you know, there's a lot of pain and it's like relatable pain. This was relatable pain, and yeah, I would give this book, even though I'm not done, I would give it a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. It's a fantastic book. It's a great book. I should actually get around to finishing it. In fact, let me put it here so that these are the books that I have not read. Okay, well, I have read this one, but these other ones I haven't read them. So let me add this to the pile so I know that I have to finish it. Up next, we have Love in Color by Bolu Babalola. This is another compilation of short stories. I think there are how many short stories? 13 stories in total, guys. People keep blowing these banger things, and I guess that's what I get for trying to film on Christmas Eve. But yeah, there are 13 stories in total, and Bolu Babalola literally takes stories of myths and stories of myths. She takes myths and stories about Asian goddesses and stuff, and weaves them into, you know, modern day romantic tales. So she does a take on Oshun. Well, she does one on Nefertiti. Never really known how to pronounce that, but yeah, this is a brilliant book. This is like the opposite of a Broken People's Playlist. So where a Broken People's Playlist will break your heart into like a million little pieces, this one will try to mend your hearts back into one piece. And finally, the last book I have here is On Ajay Crowd the Street by L. Nathan John, who wrote the story, and Alaba Onoji, who did the illustrations. So I did not know. I had no idea, but this book came from my friend Hopewell. I had no idea until I opened the book that it was illustrated. Every single page is illustrated. Like, I think I read this in under an hour. It's a very, very good read as well. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It's a very good read. So yeah. All right, so that brings me to the end of my 2021 reads. Here's to reading a lot more in 2022. Here's to buying a lot more books. Here's to diversifying my reading interests. From here you can see that I read mostly African literature and maybe a little bit of self-help. But yeah, here's to diversifying my reading interests. Here's to discovering new, great, brilliant authors, particularly Nigerian authors, African authors. Thank you guys so much for rocking with me in 2021. Thank you for a beautiful 2021. Thank you for 60k views in 2021. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, again, please subscribe to my channel. Bye.